never thought I'd have a house like this.
Yeah, when you grow up, you never in your life think that you're going to have a home like this. But Mark made it all come true for us.
I was overwhelmed not only with the house, but the energy and the affection that he put into the building of the home.
And the key was it was a two-way conversation. Mark and his staff wanted to know us. They wanted to know what we wanted, what we enjoy, and they wanted to provide that.
The process with Palatial Homes and a client really starts when the client comes into our office and they want to see some plans that maybe we haven't built before. Then my gears start to roll, then my ideas start to roll, and I think that clients really like that because I'm not giving them the run-of-the-mill type of house.
Ideas come to him very rapidly. I mean, he looks at a house plan and he's just got an act, and some builders have it and some don't, and Mark's got it. I said, Mark, you know, we're on the water. We want to really have a nice view out of that bedroom, and in no time at all, he just came up with a great plan, and that's the way the house is done, and it's beautiful.
We had a basic design, and then they worked with us and developed exactly what we want. We wanted low maintenance, high enjoyment, and we're getting exactly that.
Mark makes it very easy to approach him. It's very personal.
Anytime we've called and asked them questions, they'd call us right back, or you know, they'd come over to the house and go through things with us.
We had 3.5, 4-foot stairs going from our first level down to the basement. I didn't like them, they were too small. They were already selected, they were already poured. I said, I want them gone. Mark said, I agree with you, they're too small. And we changed them that day. And there was never a change that we wanted to make that was in dispute. Those changes were followed very promptly and very efficiently, and much to our satisfaction.
I don't hesitate to pick up the phone or send an email because I know it's going to be taken seriously. They're concerned about my questions, and that was priceless to us because we are out of state. And it was a little bit daunting to think about building a house being across the country. And I sleep well at night.
You want to feel comfortable when you're wiring, you know, sums of money to someone that it's being cared for and taken care of, and that it's being held in the proper way. And that's what our experience with Palatial Homes has been, just that.
We were out of state, we were in Northwest Ohio when the house was being built, but we felt comfortable because we kept getting emails with pictures of progress, and it was a great experience for us.
When we bring a potential client into a palatial home, when they walk in the front door, it's like, wow. They have so much to look at once. Mark is so very detail-oriented between the millwork, the stonework, the ironwork. I mean, he just puts all of the details in there. Every detail that you can imagine, it's got it in a palatial home.
I always want to think outside the box and do something different. That helps our houses to be more appealing to the person that wants something different.
Mark always seems to be on the cutting edge. He likes to be ahead of everybody else. Today's trend seems to be outdoor living. Mark is able to include outdoor living space in every house that he does, with full kitchens, fireplaces, waterfalls, just everything you can imagine. There's really nothing that he leaves out.
A lot of clients will come in and they'll say, I want this and I want that, and they'll start pricing themselves out of the marketplace. And what we try to do is we say, okay, if you want this, let's think of alternative ways to get that same thing without necessarily spending a fortune to do it. And I think that when you do a lot of value engineering on houses, when you look at the house, it looks a lot more expensive than what it actually was.
I can remember the day we went into the home show and saw they had a lot of models there. And we said, gosh, we can't afford that kind of house. It's too magnificent. We set up an appointment with Mark, showed him the style of the house we were looking at building, and Mark goes, well, John, he says, I think I can build you a great house, more square footage, and probably save you some money. And so that's exactly what happened here.
He likes to know everything in advance. He doesn't like surprises.
Mark takes the guesswork out of the whole equation. That's one of the reasons I was resistant to want to build, because I just heard that the expenses just keep piling up. Just all the aggravation, all the hassles. And I didn't want to deal with that. And so far, in the time we've been working with him, there's been none.
When somebody's buying a palatial home, they know that when they go to sell that palatial home, there's some substance to it. Realtors out in the community know that, oh, it's a palatial home.
Daryl and Cynthia, my clients, were just ecstatic. I mean, they loved the home. They loved working with Palatial Homes. Mark, Cindy, and Rick were wonderful, and you can really trust them to do a good job. I mean, I really didn't have to do that much of a sales job because it just sold itself from the outside in.
We've had the opportunity to build 11 houses around the country with many different builders in many different locations. We've never worked with anyone who was as knowledgeable from an architectural standpoint, design standpoint, and construction standpoint as Mark.
The staff offers a full service. You know, we don't have to worry about finding a landscaper. You know, they have their own folks that do that. Interior design, we haven't had to worry about that at all. In previous home building projects that we've had, that was never offered up. And knowing that you don't have to go around and try to find these services and bring that to the forefront, it was a one-stop shop.
We make it easy for the client to really be effective when they come down. They might be here on a Friday and they're leaving on a Sunday. So, you know, we make that process a lot easier for them to deal with. But I couldn't put this whole process together if I didn't have a great staff and great subcontractors that work with me.
The Palatial Home staff, of course, is led by Mark, and everyone there tries to emulate his tone and his attitude towards building. They understand what he's all about, and he's all about first class and excellence and being able to provide the very best possible for the home purchaser.
Any good builder, they have to live with good subs, because if you don't have good subcontractors, you're not going to get a good job. And a year ago we had this house built and they still have the same subs today. They really do a nice job of making sure they're getting the best on the market.
We never leave the client when we build a house for them. We take care of those houses pretty much forever. And even if a new client buys a house that one of our old clients have sold, it's the same thing. We keep the process going, and we send crews in every single year to take care of the house. We make sure that the house always looks good.
He takes, and his staff takes, personal pride in that this is a palatial home.
Even after 4 years of living in this house, he still comes back and makes sure that everything is in good working order.
And I'll even go one step further. Mark even offered, after the house is done, when we're coming back to town, if we want him to stop over and heat up our hot tub for us before we get in town, he said, just give me a call. So that's service.